welcome to the Unreal BootCamp lesson on posting a score to a leaderboard. In this lesson, we're going to be posting a score to our main leaderboard that we set up in a previous lesson using the post score to leaderboard brainCloud request. Taking a look at the API reference, we can see the parameters that are required for this request. We need to pass in the leaderboard ID, the score, optionally some JSON data, and a callback pointer. Click the JSON response to familiarize yourself with the data that the request will return. Open Xcode and navigate to the network callback.h file. Declare a pair of public callback methods for posting a score to a leaderboard. Once that's done, navigate to the network manager.h file. Declare a public method called isUsernameSaved. Scroll down and declare a pair of public overloaded methods called postScoreToLeaderboard. Scroll down some more and declare a pair of private callback functions. Make sure to mark the methods as a U function with the callback category, as these methods will be invoked from the network callback handler's delegates. Finally, declare a private network callback handler object called mPostScoreToLeaderboardCallback. Navigate to the networkmanager.cbp file, and in the constructor, bind the private callback methods we just declared to the callback handler success and failure delegates. Scroll down and implement the isUsernameSaved method. In the body, check to see if the username is empty or not. Then scroll down and implement the first postScoreToLeaderboard method. First, check to see if the user is authenticated. If they aren't, log a meaningful error message. And if set, invoke the callback's onPostScoreToLeaderboard request failed method. If the user is authenticated, convert the time from a float in seconds to a long in milliseconds. Then format the JSON data for the nickname. Invoke the brainCloud leaderboard services post-score request, passing in the leaderboard ID, the score, the JSON data, and the address of the callback object as the arguments. Once that's done, implement the overloaded post-score-to-leaderboard method. In the body, invoke the other post-score-to-leaderboard method, passing in the leaderboard ID, the time, and the username as the arguments. Scroll down to the bottom and implement the onPostScoreToLeaderboard callback method. First, log the response data. And, if set, invoke the callback's onPostScoreToLeaderboard request completed method. Finally, implement the onPostScoreToLeaderboard error method. In the body, log an error message with the error response. And if set, invoke the callback's onPostScoreToLeaderboard request failed method. Once that's done, navigate to the postscoredialogwidget.cbp file. Include the networkmanager.h file in the onSubmit button clicked method. Delete the to-do comment, then invoke the hide method, followed by invoking the network manager's post-score-to-leaderboard method, passing in the main leaderboard ID constant, the user's time, and the text field's input as arguments. Then invoke the network manager's update username method, passing in the text field input as the argument. Navigate to the spaceshooter game mode base.h file. Override the onPostScoreToLeaderboard request completed method. Navigate to the spaceshooter game mode base.cbp file. Scroll all the way to the bottom and implement the onPostScoreToLeaderboard request completed method. In the body, invoke the leaderboard manager's setUserTime method, passing in the melapsedTime member variable as the argument. Then invoke the network manager's request leaderboard method, passing in the main leaderboard ID constant as the argument. You may be wondering why we are re-requesting the leaderboard here. We just posted a score and we'd like to display the most up-to-date leaderboard to the user. We now need to modify the onLeaderboard request completed method above. After the statement that invokes the leaderboard manager's addLeaderboard method, declare an if statement that checks to see if the game is over. Then add an else statement to incorporate the existing hide connecting dialog and show main menu statements. If the game is over, verify that the game mode we are playing is the endless game mode. Then show the play again dialog followed by the leaderboard dialog. Scroll up and find the tick method. In the highlighted section above the existing statement that shows the play again dialog, declare an if statement that checks to see if the user is authenticated. Then add the statement that shows the play again dialog to an else statement. If the user is authenticated, check to see if the username is saved. If the username is saved, invoke the network manager's post-score-to-leaderboard method, passing in the main leaderboard ID constant and the elapsed time as the arguments. If the username is not saved, invoke the dialog manager's show post-score dialog method, passing in the elapsed time as the argument. Click the Run button to build a project and launch the Unreal editor. Once the Unreal editor opens, run the game. Let's play the game and post a high score. Click Endless Mode. Once the spaceship explodes, the game is over and our score is submitted to brainCloud. Notice that we weren't prompted to enter a nickname. That's because a username is saved. We entered one a few lessons ago. The leaderboard is now displayed and we can see our score. Integrating a leaderboard into the game's heads-up display is the next lesson in the Unreal BootCamp.